let's get to the absolute number one of the list. The person that I believe it's most likely to be lying. The person where if I had any money, I would place a bet that this guy is lying and he doesn't have any special abilities. And can we have a at number one? Alright, welcome back to Magic Isn't Real, the place where I try to replicate the claims of the supernatural with my very natural skills in order to question the validity of such claims. Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to be back. It's good to be back, and what better way to start the new year by pissing off some people on the internet. Yes, I am very aware that this video is gonna make some people mad, but you know what? This is the internet, so let's do it. Also, I wanted to do a video like this for the longest time. I always wanted to make a top 10 telekinesis practitioner list. I just could never figure out what kind of list to do. The most logical thing would be to do a list of the top 10 telekinesis practitioner from most convincing to like least convincing, or from least convincing to most convincing. But the problem is that for me, none of them are convincing at all. None of them actually have a good video that I go like, oh wow, that's gotta be real telekinesis. And none of them have actually provided solid evidence for the existence of this ability. So what kind of list this is going to be? Why am I talking like that? I do not know, but I will stop right now. This top 10 list is gonna go from number 10 to number 1. While we're gonna have a number 10, the person that I think is most likely to actually believe like they believe they possess this ability. And a number 1, we're gonna have the person that is most likely to be lying about having disabilities. Now, before you already get mad at me, this is going to be one of the very few videos where I'm going to use the word believe a lot. And if you know me and if you know this channel, you know that I do not like to use this word. I don't have any evidence for what I'm about to say. Today is going to be all about my feelings. Today is going to be all about my beliefs. You know, it's going to be who I believe it's actually lying versus who I believe that they're not lying in a way that they're convinced that they have disabilities. So don't get mad at me. This is just my opinions. Opinions can also change. And also, if you're new to this channel, well, consider subscribing. And just so you know, this isn't a list of all the telekinesis practitioners out there. This is a list of all the telekinesis practitioners that I have already talked about on this channel. So for every person you're gonna see in this list today, there is already a video made about them, and not so much about them personally, but it's about their claims and the type of video that they have showcased in order to like demonstrate disabilities. So you can already go and check all those videos. And I think it's a great way to start the new year. Kind of take a look at the road so far, like how far we got with this investigation and what are the kind of videos that are out there that are supposed evidences for these abilities. So if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and go check out all this other video. And if you're one of my regulars, I think you're gonna enjoy this list a lot. And I'm actually doing this list because I kind of want to hear from you what you think. So let's go. The top 10 telekinesis practitioner from least likely to be lying to most likely to be lying. Let's go. At number 10, we have Mad Cat Sphere. Now, I don't want to talk about this kid too much because I've already been accused of cyberbullying him, so let's not go there again. I'm just gonna quickly say that I've been rewatching some of his videos recently, and even some of his new content, and I actually think that he believes it. I don't think he's lying. I think he believes that he has these abilities. And I know, Mad Cat Sphere, I know that you blocked me from most of social media, but if you're gonna see this video, I don't want you to be mad about this because I actually believe you now, or I believe that you believe. So I would love to have a conversation. It would be so nice if we could just like have a conversation about this, because I think it's going to be some very interesting content. But again, I don't want to stay here too much, so let's quickly move on. At number 9, we have Zephyr, Art of Kinesis. Now, this is another one that I'm gonna go super fast because even this guy accused me of cyberbullying. So let's keep it as short as possible. But basically, it's kind of the same thing as Mad Cat Sphere. I think he does believe that he has these abilities, and the reason why I'm saying this is because in one of his tutorials, he says this thing where basically when you're starting with telekinesis, you have to reprogram your brain and really basically convince yourself that this ability exists. So he says something, I'm paraphrasing now, and I don't even think that video is still out. I don't remember. But anyway, in the video, he says something like, oh, if you see, let's say that you see an object fall, but you know you didn't do it. You have to convince yourself that you did in order to reprogram your brain. So my question is like, if you keep on doing this, if you keep on like, oh, I'm going to convince myself that it's me doing this, that is not the air from my hand, that is not, at what point you won't be able to tell the difference, whether or not it's you or it's someone else. And if this is the kind of things that he does when he meditates or when he practices, well, at some point you will be convinced that it's always you. So you will believe that you have disabilities. Plus, on top of that, he's not really doing any outrageous demonstration. Like, I don't see any sleight of hand. I don't see any wire or strings. I don't see any camera trick. So every demonstration that he does, it's just like an object balancing and then falling. And he claims that he did it. I'm not convinced, but he himself might be convinced that what he's doing is real. So moving on, I guess. Number 8 might shock some of you. So especially if you're familiar with this channel. And let's recap what this list is. This is a list of people from number 10, most likely to believe they have disabilities, to number 1, most likely to be lying about disabilities. And at number 8, sit down for this one, Michael Grab from Evolve Ministry. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Like, you're probably thinking like, oh, but didn't you say in your video about him that you can probably bet money that he's a liar? Didn't you say that you're absolutely convinced that this guy is not the real deal? Yes, I did say that, but guess what? Opinions can change. And I've been watching some of his content, like I've been rewatching some of his content as well, some of his new stuff. And I actually believe that he believes he has disabilities. First of all, he's surrounded by people who worship him. And that's already a thing that can mess up with your brain. Like, you can get, and he's been doing this for like 25 years. At some point, I think you're going to start like convincing yourself that you have this ability. And like the way, I know that he talks like a used car salesman.
Trust me when I say it's all in your own head, and how far you can go is entirely up to you.
He has this type of vibe, but at the same time, I think he's convinced that he has some sort of powers. Also, there's another issue. He doesn't really do much telekinesis. He shouldn't even be in this list, actually. Most that he does is like aerokinesis. Like, he goes outside and then he says he controls the wind. What's funny to me about that is that some of his kind of recent videos, or some videos that I've seen recently, his timing seems to be a bit off. If he was lying, he wouldn't post a video like that. He wouldn't post a video where the timing is off. But since he's posting it anyway, and I think he's doing it because he believes that he's doing it. He believes that the video is convincing enough because the video convinces himself as well. And this is also a good moment to remind you, these are just my opinions, okay? Let's not be too crazy with the dislike button here, okay? I'm just telling you my feelings and my opinions. And you know what? Let's move on. Let's go to number 7. Ironically, at number 7, we have Trevor 7. Now, this also might shock some of you, because like about a month ago, I would have put this guy number 1 on the list. I would have put it number 1 as most likely to be lying. But after what happened with him, and you can go check out all the videos that are amazing, and after some of the content that I started watching, I also think that he believes that he has disabilities. And again, this is also because, like, in most of his demonstration, I don't see anything truly outrageous. And when I say outrageous, you will see who's at the top of this list. I want to remind you that this is a list of people that I believe are most likely to be lying. You know, if this was a list of people that are most likely to be selling a potion that it's absolutely not the cure for cancer, then Trevor 7 will be a number 1. But here we're talking about a list of people that I think are lying about telekinesis. And since Trevor 7 just seems to be making some object that are balancing fall, and that's it, I actually think that he might believe that that's true telekinesis, or he might believe to have like disabilities. And also the way he talks, the way he has this kind of toxic positivity and this guru vibe makes me think that he truly believes to be some sort of chosen one that has to share this ability with the rest of the world. And this is why he gets number 7, which is also funny because his name is Trevor 7. At number 6, we have Master Centeris. Now, here things are starting to get interesting. It took me a while to figure out where to put him in this list, because Master Centeris reminds me a lot of my old master. And I get this feeling that he is a good martial artist. but he needs to kind of push this narrative of like the supernatural and the chi energy. He might also believe in chi energy, but I don't think he believes in certain abilities that he's pushing. But I think he believes that it's necessary for him to be lying about these abilities in order to gain more student and in order to build confidence in the student that he's gaining.
Bravo, Nico. Bravo, Yorgo.
He says that he's being tested by scientists, which is true. A group of researchers went to his gym, his dojo, whatever you call it, in Greece, and they kind of did some experiment. Now, if you actually read the paper, which I did, you will see that ultimately is kind of inconclusive. Like they have to do more testing, and they never got to do more testing, which is interesting. But one thing that I found super interesting was the fact that he uses this kind of toy cars. He calls it the Centaurus method. Basically, you're gonna make this toy car move with the power of your mind. Now, the researcher, the scientists, the check on this, they discovered that these toy cars are kind of defective. They turn on and off just by themselves. It's amazing because this thing is not addressed whatsoever by Master Centaurus, and I think he still uses this toy car to practice this like supernatural ability. So, in my book, this is someone who is 50-50. Like he might believe in some chi energy and whatever, but he's also lying about how certain demonstration works. And I think he's doing it not as a bad thing. I think he has convinced himself that he needs to be lying about this in order to build confidence for his students. At least this, again, it's my opinion. But let's check number 5. All right, so now we have reached the midpoint of the list, and things are gonna get interesting because from now on, I actually think that all of these people are lying and they know it, and there's no excuse. Yes, I'm sorry, that's what I believe, and as I said, this video is gonna piss off some people, so let's just go with it. So number 5, we have Sifu Amin Jani. This guy, man, I don't even think when he speaks, I think he's surprised. He himself is surprised that people believe what it is that he's saying. Just the way he speaks, he's lying and he knows it, and he's actually shocked that people believes him. Now, at the same time, he's a number 5 and not a number 1 because he's also a martial artist, and there's a lot of meditation exercises that he puts on his channel, as well as some qi kung and breathing exercise to develop your chi. So maybe he does believe in some sort of chi energy, but at the same time, when he does any telekinesis or pyrokinesis demonstration, it's so obvious there is a trick. There's just no way that you could possibly believe that you have this ability. Like you, my man, are, in my opinion, clearly lying about telekinesis, but maybe you do believe in chi energy and stuff like that. So that's why you got number 5 spot in this list. Number 4, and now things are gonna get extremely interesting because at number 4 we have Ogogo. What else can I say? I mean, you can see him performing sleight of hand. You can see him in the video making a coin going through his sleeve in order to do a teleportation demonstration. So if I caught you doing a magic trick, why would I believe anything else that you said? And also, it's one thing that you put an object like balancing on a table, and then you focusing, and then that object falls, and then you convince yourself that you did that, and you believe that you have this ability. That's one thing. It's another thing that you drop in a coin in your sleeve, and you believe that you made it teleport. Like, you obviously know what it is that you're doing. You are obviously lying about this. It's obvious that it's a trick. At the same time, I do feel that Ogogo is just a kid playing a character. I don't think he thinks that we are supposed to take him too seriously. I think he's literally cosplaying as a supernatural being. That's why he got kind of still not number 1. Even though I literally caught him doing a magic trick, he's not getting number 1 position because I believe that he's a kid and he just believes that there's nothing harmful about this. So it's not a big deal lying about this stuff. It's just playing around. It's just, you know, for his YouTube channel, playing around, playing a character, no big deal. But at the same time, I don't think he believes he has this ability. I think he knows what's happening. I think he is lying, and that's why he gets the number 4 spot on this list. The next 2 spots honestly could be almost like interchangeable, but I positioned them in a certain way for a specific reason. So let's go. Number 3, we have Telekinesis Guru. Come on. This guy is lying. This guy is playing a character 100%. He is lying. His demonstration of telekinesis are outrageous. There's all sorts of camera tricks, wire work, sleight of hand. So many things are involved in this guy's like tricks, demonstrations of videos. And at the same time, I feel like most of the telekinesis community also don't believe that this guy is the real deal. So that's why he gets the number 3 spot. And at the number 2 spot, well, again, this could have been interchangeable, but like a number 2 spot is Ernest Vader. And the only reason, I mean, him and Telekinesis Guru, as far as I know, they could be the same person. I mean, it could be the same people, but Ernest Vader, you know, it's 1 spot ahead of Telekinesis Guru, mostly because of, I know this is a telekinesis list, but I couldn't get past the fact that this guy does levitation videos. They're so obviously wire work, not to mention that some of his students are actually professional magicians who perform on stage, and his excuse is that, oh, but they are hiding in plain sight or stuff like that. They're saying they're magicians so the government won't question the real ability and they can perform without getting captured. I don't know what the narrative is, but anyway, Ernest Vader's demonstrations are so obviously magic tricks to me, just especially his telekinesis stuff. Even the one that he does in live streams, it's so obvious. I mean, you can check it out. I made a whole tutorial. How to move object exactly like he does with all the moves. I can see the moves and everything. And plus, once again, levitation. I know this isn't a top 10 levitation list, but I couldn't. So now, before we get to number 1, there are some honorable mention that I would love to mention. So here they are. Tadashi Kanzawa. Now, I don't think he does any telekinesis whatsoever, but I feel like it was worth mentioning him because I think it's one of my favorite videos that I've ever done, because he can put animals to sleep with the power of chi. And I just wanted to tell you, please go watch this video because I did the same thing. Just not with the power of chi. I just wanted to mention him because if I would have to put him in this list, I would have no idea. I just have no idea if this guy truly believes that he has this ability or if it's lying. I don't know. I have no idea. Then we have a channel called Paranormal Spirituality. I've talked about them before. If they didn't make the list because I think it's obvious that this channel is just for entertainment. I made a video already explaining the whole thing. I don't think they believe they have disabilities, and I don't think they care or even trying to convince you. I think the channel is purely for entertainment, and I don't see anything wrong with that, except that maybe they should put a little disclaimer. But I spoke already about this in the video. Amongst the honorable mention, we also have Master Zogan Chen, or at least I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced it. So actually, this was a video that I did in collaboration with McDojo Live. So you can go check out that video and my video. Again, I didn't feel like putting him in the list. I just kind of felt like this is more of a martial arts McDojo type of video and not so much a telekinesis video. That's why he didn't make the list. And now, without wasting too much time, let's get to the absolute number 1 of the list. The person that I believe it's most likely to be lying. The person where if I had any money, I would place a bet that this guy is lying and he doesn't have any special abilities. And can we have a... At number 1, Grandmaster Wolf. Yes. Grandmaster Wolf. I was introduced to him before I created this channel a while ago, and what happened is that it was a video that he posted and I could see the gimmick. I spotted a gimmick, like a magic prop gimmick in this video. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have this channel at the time and he removed that video and I wasn't fast enough. See, now I've learned that you gotta take screenshot and download every video as quickly as possible because they're gonna disappear. So I just know he's just doing tricks. And the reason why I put him on number 1 is not just that. To me, it's the whole attitude and the whole deal. Like the whole, like, he's wearing a kimono, he's got the long beard, like he created a whole persona in order to sell you stuff that he's selling. Telekinesis Guru, Ernest Vader could have earned number 1. But the thing is that they are covering their faces, which tells me that they just don't have the full confidence that this man has. This man has the full confidence of lying to your face. And again, oh my God. I don't have any evidence. This is just my opinion. This is just what I believe. Opinions can change, especially if new evidence is provided. So if Grandmaster Wolf wants to chat with me instead of insulting me in a weird community post that he did years ago, yeah, you can go check out the video. You know what I'm talking about. But if he wants to talk and if he wants to take on one of my simple, I narrow it down to a very simple challenge that we can do to start with your telekinesis demonstration. And for now, for today, for the beginning of this year, he gets #1 spot, and that's it. I don't have, again, these are just my feelings, my opinions. This is my belief. So don't take it too seriously. Don't be too mad. As a matter of fact, if you disagree with the order of this list, like, let me know. I would love to know what you think. I would love to know if this, making this list and talk about it was a terrible idea and I shouldn't have done it. Please, like, let me know. At the same time, it's so nice to have you back. It's so nice to have a studio again, a new studio actually. I hope you like it. If you want to see how I built, I made this whole thing, you can join my Patreon. There's a making of, behind the scene of the studio on my Patreon. You can go check it out. And even if you don't want to, I mean, there's other things. If you want to learn some magic tricks from me, there's magic tricks I teach over there. If you just want to support this page, just join. You can join for like a month. Honestly, you can join for a month, and I'll be absolutely thankful to you. And once again, thank you so much for watching until the end. I usually give you some sort of things to say at the end of the video, just to prove to me that you have watched the video until the end. So let's pick like a random card so that it's kind of confusing. So when people see in the comment section that you're saying 2 of diamonds, they'll be like, oh, why is everybody saying 2 of diamonds? And then we'll spot the person who hasn't watched the video until the end, and we're gonna make fun of him or her or they. No, just kidding. This year let's try not to make fun of anybody. And once again, this list, please don't take it seriously. It's just an opinion. It's just a thought that I had, and I'm actually probably putting it out there because I want to see what happens. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.